Hi guys, it's NTI day 31 and we're going to talk about some statistics for the next couple days. And today we're going to be working with statistical calculations like mean, median, mode, and range. So I've broken it up into those 4 different sections. Directions are the same as they have been since we started this. Watch this video, read the steps, solve each problem. You got to show all of your work. So everything I show on the screen is what you need to have on your paper when you submit. And then submit a clear picture of your work. Okay, so the first one we're going to talk about is mean. And another word for mean is average. So to calculate an average, all we have to do is we have to add the numbers all together in the data set to find the sum. And then we're going to divide by how many there are. So you guys know what averages are. When we take a test, very rarely do we have 100 questions. So we average out of 100. We add up... that's how we get your all's grades, is we add them all up and then we divide by how many grades that you have. That's how we get a class average, is we add up all of the classes averages and divide by how many there are. So if we take a look at number 1 here, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to add them up. And go ahead, if you have your calculator, if you have your Chromebook calculator, do this with me. We have 45 plus 12 plus 102 plus 56 plus 89. Okay, when we add them all up, we get that our sum is 304. But that's not our last step. We're also going to divide by how many there are. So if I count, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers. So I'm going to divide my 304 by 5. And when we do that, we get 60.8, and we don't have to round anything because it's a terminating decimal. It stops. So 60.8 is our final answer. Okay. Same thing for number 2. Number 2 is a word problem, so we just have to read it. It says Clayton plays basketball on a team. He has played 3 games so far. In the first game, he scored 10 points. In the second game, he scored 14 points. And in the third game, he scored 6 points. What is Clayton's average? So we need to add them up. We have 10 plus 14 plus 6, and we get 30. And we're going to divide that by the 3 games that he played, and we get 10 points per game. An average of 10 points per game. That's answer choice B. So to calculate an average, or the mean, all you have to do is add up all the numbers in the set and divide by how many there are. Okay, now we're going to take a look at median. Okay, and our median is the middle number in an ordered data set, and this is important. It's got to be ordered from least to greatest. So like when you're driving down the road and they have that little grassy area in between the lanes, that's called a median. It's in the middle. Okay, and again, it's in the middle of an ordered data set from least to greatest. So our steps, the first one is to order the numbers in the data set from least to greatest. Then we're going to cross out the ends until there's 1 or 2 numbers left in the middle. If there's 1 number, we're just going to circle it because that's our median. If there are 2 numbers, we're going to add them together and divide by 2. Okay. So we're just trying to find the middle number. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to order them from least to greatest. So down here, we have 8, 9, and 10. I'm going to cross those out because I've already used them. And then we have 14 and 21. Okay, so that's our first step. We're going to order them from least to greatest. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cross out the ends until we get to the very middle, or if we get 2 numbers left in the middle. So first I'm going to cross out 8 and 21, 9 and 14, and I have my middle number left. That's my median. So number 3, the median is 10. Now we're going to do the same exact steps for number 4 because we're looking for the median. So we are going to first order from least to greatest. So we have 11, 12, 14, 16, 23, and 24. Okay, and now we're going to mark out our ends until we have 1 or 2 numbers left in the middle. I'm going to mark out 11 and 24, 12 and 23, and on this one we have 2 numbers left in the middle. Okay, so to get the median, we want the number that's going to be in between 14 and 16. So we're going to add those 2 numbers together, and I'm just going to do that up here. 14 plus 16 gives me 30, and then I'm going to divide it by 2, and we get that the median is 15. That makes sense, right? 15 would fall in the middle of 14 and 16. Now, you can't have two medians. So I can immediately see this answer choice D here, this 14 and 16. That's not an answer choice because we can't have two medians. We want the one number that's in the middle. And in this case, we had to add them together and divide by 2 to get 15. Okay. All right. Next, so we've done mean, we've done median. Now we're going to do range. Range is the difference between the maximum and the minimum. And just in case you forgot, maximum is the highest number in a data set, and minimum is the lowest number in a data set. Now, the word difference in math means to subtract. So, how to calculate range? All we have to do is do our maximum minus the minimum. So, let's take a look here. Number 5 and 6 are both range questions. On here, it says, Ms. Jones received the following scores on the last math test that she gave her 6th grade students. What is the range? Okay, so we want max minus min, and the maximum score looks to be 100 minus the minimum score, which is a 32. Now again, if you got your calculator handy, you can use it. If not, you can do the subtraction by hand, it doesn't matter. But when we subtract 100 minus 32, we get that this data set has a range of 68. Okay, same thing for number 6. We have max minus min, maximum minus minimum. If we look in our data set here, 96 looks to be our maximum, where it looks like 45 is our minimum. So just pop that into your calculator, and we have 96 minus 45 gives us a range of 51. Okay, so far we've done mean, we've done median, and we've done range. Last one we're going to take a look at is mode. Okay, and mode is another M statistical word, so they kind of get a little confusing. But mode is the number that appears the most in a data set. And you can kind of keep those together because mode starts with an M-O and most also starts with an M-O. Okay, so mode is the one that occurs the most. So there can be one mode, there can be two modes, if both numbers appear the same amount of times in the data set. So if you have one number that appears a whole bunch of times, that one number is the mode. If you have two numbers that appear the same amount of times, they can both be the mode. So if you look at this example here, we have 2, 2, and 2, and then we have 5, 5, and 5. They both, 2 and 5 are modes because they both appear 3 times, which is more than everything else. Okay, now you can also have no mode. So if all the numbers appear the same amount of times, there's no mode. So the first example, if we look at it, all of the numbers appear one time, so there's no mode. Our second example, all of the numbers appear 2 times, so there's still no mode. Okay, no number appears more than the others. All right, so if we look at number 7 on our dot plot, it says that this dot plot below shows the number of concerts that the students in Miss Johnson's class have attended. What is the mode? So if we look at a mode on a dot plot, it's really easy to see because we're looking for the one that appears the most. It's the one that's going to have the most dots. We're not looking for who went to the most concerts. We're looking for the column that has the most dots. And if we look, that's this column right here. Okay, so the mode, or the one that appears the most, would be our 1. Okay, and if we were to write out this data set, we would write out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zeros. We would write out 7 ones. We would write out 6 twos. Okay, we would write out 4 threes, and so on. So you can see that our ones appear the most. Okay, but like I said, in a dot plot, it's really easy to see because it's just the highest column. Okay, all right, number 8 is also asking for the mode, which one appears the most. Okay, now you see a couple of repeating numbers here. So like I see this 80, I see this 74 appears a couple times. I see a 72 that appears here and here. Okay, So we just have to figure out which one appears the most. If we're looking, 74 appears 3 times, 80 appears twice, and 72 appears twice. So since 74 appears more or the most, that's our mode. Okay. All right, guys. So make sure that you have all of your work shown, like what I have on the screen here. Take a good, clear picture of your work and submit it to the Google form. If you all have any questions, please don't hesitate to send an email and let us know.